What? Hi guys, Markee here, and welcome back to another episode of r/AmiTheA. I'll be your host, Markee, and this is the Markee YouTube channel. Sit back, relax, and have a good time. Thank you. Posted by user Puxwell9218. Titled, Am I the a-hole for pressing charges against my mum? Now, I'm not sure if the title is the right way to word it, but hear me out. I found out 5 days ago that my mum lied to me about my tax refund last year and had the money direct deposited into her bank account. She and I are not on talking terms, as she borrowed $200 from me in early January and refused to pay me back, even though this is the only time I've ever asked for it back. Since we're not talking, I had to attempt to file my taxes on my own. Now, she's always done my family's and I's taxes, so when it was rejected because I couldn't remember my AGI for 2020, I had to request a transcript to figure it out. Although, I ended up finding out I had received quite a large refund, and the account it was deposited in. Immediately, I called her to ask her what the hell. Why did you do this? She declined. I texted her several times, no response. I called my older sister to try and get in contact with her and tell her that I need to talk to her ASAP. Mum then blocks her and blocks me across social media. That all happened last Friday. So coming to this last Monday, I called the IRS panicking and trying to figure out what I should do. Can I even do anything? The lady on the phone guides me to fill out some forms and contact the Federal Trade Commission with identity theft, although I don't know if that's what this is. I fill out all sorts of things and file a police report. I called older sister again, and she says it's not going to go anywhere, that it's a waste of my time, etc., and I'm just going to ruin my relationship with mum. My other sister is fully supportive and encourages me to do what I feel like I need to do. Coming to yesterday, I went to the police station and gave them copies of all of my paperwork, proof money went into her account, her info, etc. The detective called me and let me know that they have everything they need and are going to arrest her. And suddenly I feel bad. Should I have just let it go? My refund was nearly $2,000 and I could have really used it, as I had just been laid off due to the pandemic at the time. My older sister is kind of at my throat, and I don't know what to do. I've given her over $5,000 over the last 3 years, and feel like she just used me even more than what she already was. Am I the a-hole? She's stolen $2,000 from you right now, and $5,000 over the last 3 years, blocks all communication with you and your sister as soon as you guys start asking questions, and now you're asking if you're in the wrong for getting her arrested. I can see why you would want to question this, since it's very much looked down upon to intentionally have your own mother arrested, but surely this is an example that would be acceptable in people's eyes. I think your mother crossed the line, and this was a long time coming. She deserves it, and you're not the a-hole here. Edit to add, thank you all so much for your comments. My mum didn't get my stimulus checks as they were both mailed to me. Also, I understand that I should have checked her doing my taxes. I was 19 at the time and didn't expect my mum to do me like that. I simply believed her. I'm glad you guys were all so smart and knew better at that age. I made a mistake and I get it. There's a chance that she stole more. I didn't realize my federal returns and state returns were separate, and I only know the Fed amount. I'll be figuring out the state amount on Monday. A few of you asked, and no, I don't live with her. I haven't since I was 16. Also, I've done a credit freeze, and everything on my credit report is things that I've done or accounts that I've opened. Thank you so much, though. Now in the comments, Kindly Train 1045 says, Not the a-hole. What the hell? She stole your money. You tried to talk to her and figure it out, but she refused. It is then on her to deal with the consequences. Good that you reported her, and shame on your sister for enabling your mum's behavior. Jumping on the top comment to add, don't back down and continue with the charges. She needs to learn her lesson. $2,000 is quite a bit of money to just be out of, especially right now. Yep. $2,000 stolen secretly from you by someone who then blocks your calls is a serious matter. But it also may not be the end of it. You don't know if she's stolen your identity and taken out loans in your name. You don't know what she may be doing, and she won't talk to you. You are not ruining this relationship. If allowing someone to steal from you with no consequences is what it takes to maintain a relationship, it's not a relationship worth maintaining. Press charges, OP. Not the a-hole. You'll want to contact the Social Security Administration about getting a new Social Security number. Your mum has proven she can't be trusted and may use your financial info for her own gain. You need to make sure that she can't do that in the future. And OP replies, I have my social card and my birth certificate, and I put a freeze on my credit and stuff. She hasn't taken anything out of my name yet, but I will call them about it. Thank you so much. As your parent, she can get a new copy of your birth certificate very easily, and it sounds like she had your SSN memorized. Be vigilant. Our next post is by user Condorima, titled, Am I the a-hole for banning my former mother-in-law from my house because she keeps showing up and letting herself in? My former mother-in-law is 52 years old and I am 32 years old. Back when I was 23, I got my then girlfriend pregnant. We married soon after, and she gave birth to our little girl. 2 years after, my wife got extremely sick and passed soon after, leaving me with our daughter. I decided to move several states away back to my own parents as I work a lot and my parents volunteered to help me with my daughter. This went on for a while, until I had made a good promotion and had enough saved up to get my own house half an hour away from my parents. And since then, watching my daughter during the day while I'm at work is split between the nanny I hired and my parents. Before you think I'm taking advantage, my parents insist on watching her. My daughter is 8 now, in case you wonder, and I generally work 8 to 6. My former mother-in-law decided to move to the town I live in because she wants to be close to her granddaughter/my daughter. I initially had no issue with this. After all, my wife was her only child, and my daughter her only grandchild. I only started having an issue when she actually moved. Since she moved here, she was at my house pretty much all day, including when I got home after work and the weekends. She would even be there when my daughter was at school, and no one was home to clean. After having multiple conversations and arguments with her when I stated that I was of the opinion her behavior was inappropriate and she was crossing boundaries, she finally toned it down for a while. However, slip-ups were and are common. Last week was the final straw for me. Since the past year and a half, I have started dating again and met a woman. However, due to the pandemic, we have not been able to spend much time together. But with everything opening up here, I invited her over after asking my parents to watch my daughter. When we were fooling around on the couch, my ex-mother-in-law let herself in, of course without calling, knocking, or asking, and proceeded to lose her crap and accused me of cheating and disrespecting my deceased wife. I finally had enough. I went over, snatched my key from her, forced her out of my home, and told her she is no longer welcome in my house. She really has no one else, and several people, including my parents, have weighed in, asking me to change my mind. I'm not sure if I'm the a-hole here. I would absolutely ban her from your house and change the locks, as heaps of people here are going to suggest. The solution would be that there are agreed upon times that you'll drop the child off, or do supervised visits with the child. She absolutely destroyed those boundaries that you require as an individual with privacy, and went nuts about her deceased daughter. I can understand why that would happen in the heat of the moment, but she had a choice to take her emotions out in that way, and chose to attack instead of flee and deal with it in private. I can absolutely fault her for that. It was unnecessary and toxic to put that on OP, and this whole situation shouldn't have even happened because she shouldn't have been letting herself in. With all that said and done, I'm going to go for not the a-hole OP. Now in the comments, Isaac Endler says, not the a-hole because of 3 main reasons. 1, this is your house. 2, this is your kid. And 3, this is your life. You lost your wife. I'm genuinely sorry for your loss. You grieved, you accepted your loss, and then you moved on. You're not cheating on anyone, and you're well within your right to not allow her into your property. Keep her away from your kid. Her reaction tells me that she'll try and push her mindset of you cheating onto your daughter. Just remember that you're the parent and that you have your own life. Am I doing the math right here? Married at 23, widowed at 25, now 32? So his wife has been gone 7 years. Surely that's more than enough time to start moving on, or does the mother expect lifelong celibacy? Not the a-hole. She must think her daughter is still here as a ghost. No wonder she's always at his house. She was talking to her daughter, who is a ghost, and she must come at that moment because her daughter, who is a ghost, told her that she was cheating. Makes perfect sense. I bet she's really good at pottery, though. Lord Yeastring says, not the a-hole. You've warned her multiple times. If she wants to see her grandchild, she should call you and ask, rather than come over or take your daughter out somewhere. I would not give the keys back. With the grandmother being pissed off at OP, I wouldn't recommend unsupervised visits at the moment. Yeah, that's true, but what's she gonna do? If she does anything, he could go as far as getting a restraining order. She comes across as unstable, and it's just best to never play chicken with children and an unstable adult. She's clearly not dealt with her grief. She needs to go to counseling and accept that her daughter is passed on. Not the a-hole. Why does this woman have a key or access code to your home? She is 100% the a-hole. Good locks make good neighbors. I wouldn't recommend giving anyone a key who doesn't live in your house unless you're going to be gone, except one person whom you can trust not to do this, like your parents or a friend. Yes, my question. I'm not even allowed to enter the home of my sister without knocking. I don't have a key, so why should she have a key? Yeah, any keys I have to anyone's home, I would never use without literally speaking to them on the phone to verify it was okay. Unless there's like a clear emergency. Maybe that's why people trust me with their keys. Who would have thought? Not the a-hole. You're entitled to your own privacy, and it should be expected for an adult to respect another adult's private and personal space. Showing up constantly and letting herself in? That's too much. However, I'd remember that your deceased wife's mother is clearly without anyone. Her only child is dead. Her only grandchild with you. This can't be easy for her. You absolutely need to establish and enforce boundaries, but this isn't just an overbearing mother-in-law. This is a grief-stricken and lonely mother-in-law. Please try to come to a compromise for the memory of your wife and her daughter. This, obviously not the a-hole, but this is what I was thinking about, how to carefully articulate. The cheating on my daughter shows that this woman is still struggling tremendously with grief. The cleaning of his house when OP is gone shows she is trying to help. She lost her only family and is trying to find a sense of belonging and feel needed. Not that this behavior is okay or should be accepted, but I understand her perspective. Prepare for arguments. Empathy for the a-hole in situations is not generally taken well, but for what it's worth, I agree with you completely. Mother-in-law sounds like she needs grief counseling if she is still this focused on OP's commitments to his wife 7 years after her death. Obviously things need to change, and she needs to respect his privacy and boundaries, and I'd even advise being happy for OP and daughter that they can possibly have a loving relationship with someone. She's obviously been there for OP and daughter, and her grief is probably boundless. I hope they can work this out. Regardless, OP is not the a-hole. I hope he can have a true heart-to-heart with mother-in-law, and they can learn to value each other respectfully. And our next post is by user, Am I the a-hole, her gay fry? Titled, Am I the a-hole for throwing my girlfriend's gay friend out because he was being inappropriate towards me? So my 24 male girlfriend, 23 female, who we'll call Jess, and I have been living together for 7 months. She moved in after she learned, so working totally online. We've dated for 2 years. Jess has a very close-knit friend group that she's been with since early college. One of the guys in her group we will call John. John is a gay dude and is the only guy in her friend group. John is very flamboyant, and he has a history of saying things that are very inappropriate towards me. Like, he'll constantly say inappropriate things to me and about me. He constantly says things to my girlfriend like, "Be quiet before I F your boyfriend," as a joke. And that really grosses me out and makes me feel uncomfortable. He'll make jokes about the size of my penis, and worst of all, he'll joke about if I ever have been with a guy, which legitimately makes me upset. My girlfriend thinks it's hilarious. This came to a head a few nights ago. A few of my girlfriend's friends, including John, came over for the evening, and I was out with them. They had a little bit too much to drink, and John was being too much. I pulled Jess aside and told her that John was making me feel uncomfortable, and that she needed to tell him to stop. She said that they were just having fun, and that I need to lighten up, but she'll still tell him to stop. She, in a joking way, told him I was feeling uncomfortable, and that became the new topic of the joke. John then hinted I might be uncomfortable and defensive because I may be a little gay. This is where I drew the line. I'm not gay, and I don't like it being implied that I'm gay. I was angry at him, and I asked him to leave. The night was pretty much halted. Jess and her friends tried to convince me to calm down, but I was done. After he joked about me being gay, he needed to leave my house. Eventually, he and all of Jess's friends left, and she went off on me. Apparently, all of her friends were pissed at me too for ruining the night and accused me of being homophobic. Even my girlfriend said it came across as homophobic that I reacted so badly to him joking about me being gay. Am I the a-hole? It's not your job to cop abuse from them and be expected to take it and just keep taking it, that's what he said. All jokes aside though, you're well within your rights to do what you did, and they deserve to be kicked out for that. You're absolutely not homophobic for standing up for yourself and denying those allegations. I know I'd be pissed off if I made it clear I'm not gay and continuously had someone making those jokes towards me. There's only so much one can take before you get a reaction, and they found that. You're not the a-hole in my opinion. Now in the comments, Future Muscle Doctor says, "Not the a-hole. You are not a homophobe for kicking out someone who constantly violates your boundaries." It's also concerning that OP's girlfriend doesn't respect his boundaries, which are extremely reasonable. Not the a-hole. Seriously, why is his girlfriend okay with her friend saying he wants to sleep with her boyfriend? Would she be okay with her female friends saying it? Or is it just okay because it would be homophobic to point out that behavior is being absolutely toxic and crappy coming from a gay man? I feel like if her girlfriend said it, she'd still take it as a joke. But OP, ask how she'd feel if one of your male friends started asking what her boobs felt like and made comments about, "Dude, shut up or I'm gonna F your girlfriend." Aw, look, she's getting embarrassed. She might deny it, but I can tell she'd totally be into it. I'm guessing she'd get a little defensive about it. Then ask how she'd feel if on top of that, you just laughed along with your friends and told her she was overreacting. This isn't about homophobia. This is about someone making unwanted sexual commentary at you and your girlfriend laughing along with him instead of saying, "Hey, my boyfriend doesn't find that as funny as you do, could you tone it down?" Not the a-hole for sure. Not the a-hole. As a gay man, I am so tired of people in our community acting like this, and it's especially common for younger gay guys. Being gay is not a get-out-of-jail-free card to act however you like, and make people uncomfortable. I also despise guys who try and project their own sexuality onto straight men who aren't interested. Oh, he's not responding to my flirting? He must be in denial. He must be gay. You are straight. You are in a relationship. His behavior made you uncomfortable, and you did the right thing and communicated your feelings to your girlfriend to handle. He is her friend. It is therefore her responsibility to deal with it. She didn't, and in the process, she proved that she values her friend's feelings over yours. Nothing you did was homophobic, and this is coming from someone who is gay as the day is long. I'm lesbian, and I completely understand this behavior. The amount of times I've had to tell some of my gay friends that gay is not a personality trait that you can pass on to other guys is astounding. The, "oh, I can change him" attitude is ridiculous. While I, yes, believe nobody is 100% straight, that doesn't mean that you can press the issue and push people to be uncomfortable. Edit from questions. In all our experiences with straight people, I've heard that there is always that one person that turns them on from the same sex, and they have no idea why. We understand the double standard. If someone said that to the community, we would get hate galore, and that's okay. We just acknowledge previous conversations with our resident straights in our friend group. And Music Girl's mom says, "My girlfriend thinks it's hilarious." You know what's not hilarious? Sexual harassment, which this is. You are not the a-hole OP, but your girlfriend and her friend John definitely are. G'day there guys, and that's the end of today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed it and were entertained by today's bloody good content. As always, I want to do a quick shout out and a thank you to all my channel members and Patreon subscribers. Your beautiful faces and names will be up on screen right now. Haven't forgot about you guys, sorry I was taking a little break there. So yeah, if you see yourself, give yourself a pat on the back. If you want to be on this screen, there's links down to the description below where you can sign up and help support the channel and all future projects that I'm going to be doing on this one. With all that said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to. I'll see you in the next episode, and I do hope you enjoy it. Thank you.